special in store for you, and I'm talking about the BMW X4 M40i. If that name sounds confusing to you or you never heard it before, I can completely understand. It's a brand new model. I mean, it's been around for about a year, but it's new overall, and it's aimed at this new M performance automobile segment that BMW is developing, hoping to fill in the gap between the regular models and the M models. So yeah, since we have the BMW X4 M40i in stores today, that means soon we'll be getting the BMW X4M. Yes, it's in the works. I can confirm that. BMW has been confirming it for a while, and just like the BMW X3M, it's going to be awesome. That's because it's going to be using a new 3-liter engine, new high-performance 3-liter engine developed by the M division, based on the B58, which will have around 450 horsepower, and it will replace the S55 found in the M3 and the M4. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today we're looking at the BMW X4 M40i. What is it? Well, it's a beefed up, sportier version than the already sporty sports activity coupe from BMW. Compared to the Idrive 35i, which came before it, it has a couple of standout pieces. Since this is an M performance model, you'll be able to recognize it from the outside from the ferric gray inserts every here and there. I'm referring to the ferric gray blades in the air intakes at the front, the ferric gray carbon fiber covers, and the twin tailpipes at the back, which are available only for the M40i model, nothing else. Everything else has two tailpipes, but only on the left side of the car. That's on the outside. On the inside, there's little to set it apart from some M40i badges here and there. Like in the dash, you have one right under the rev counter, and you have door sills that say X4 M40i. Of course, the same huge chunk of letters and numbers can be found on the boot, and that's about it. Inside is typical BMW business. Since the X4 didn't yet get an upgrade or a new model, you can actually tell it's the old X3 design, which is starting to show its age. But the BMW people decided to give the X4 the new Idrive system, and that brings it a bit closer to the technology we have today on different cars, on other cars in the BMW portfolio. That said, the biggest differences though hide underneath the sheet metal, and I'm referring to the performance. So under the hood of this car we have the same 3-liter engine found on the BMW M2. That's an upgraded N55 power, N55 engine that's developing 360 horsepower and 465 Newton meters of torque. That figure can go up to 500 Newton meters of torque thanks to overboost, but only for a short period of time. What that means is that combined with the Idrive system of the car, this thing will do 100 kilometers an hour from standstill in just 4.9 seconds. That's half a second slower than the M2, but it's faster than its main rival, the Porsche Macan GTS, which does it in 5.2 seconds. And it really isn't that big of a deal for this car, as you're about to see. So as you saw, this thing will do 100 kilometers an hour in a jiffy. But for a performance car, straight line acceleration isn't everything. So how does it handle compared to, let's say, an ordinary X4? Well, to be honest, it's a lot stiffer, and you can actually feel it from the get-go. This car has adaptive dampers, and they do a good job, but it is a stiff car. Furthermore, that helps out when you're trying to push it into bends. BMW claims that the Idrive system on it sends more power to the rear, but you'd be hard-pressed to notice it because the front end has so much grip, the car feels planted in every single tight corner I throw it in. So it's hard to say just how much power goes to the rear wheels. What I can tell you, I can definitely tell you, is that it's definitely an improvement over the standard model, the standard X4 in any other guys. So yeah, you can actually feel the M performance part of the car. Apart from the damping that keeps the car in check and the Idrive system, you can also tell that this car has been subtly reworked by the steering, which is a lot more direct and responds faster to your inputs. Of course, in sport mode, it is artificially and totally uselessly stiff, and it's really heavy, and shouldn't be that heavy. My preferred setting is to keep it in comfort mode and keep the acceleration and the gear shift and the gearbox in sport mode. That's the best way to experience this car, because sport mode simply is too heavy in terms of steering. So yeah, couple of notable differences between this car and the standard one. This one we're testing today also has been painted Long Beach blue, a color you might recognize from the BMW X6M, which is a full M car, and it looks absolutely brilliant. On the outside, the X4 always looked good, in my opinion. It's not for everyone, but to my eye, it looks absolutely brilliant. And yeah, the performance it brings is it is impressive. It's not on the levels of X4M per se, which will be coming out, and we can't wait to see it, but it is more than decent. In terms of day-to-day drivability, it's just the same as a regular X4. You don't have a lot of room in the back. Getting in and out of the back is quite a trip, because the wheel wells cut into the space for the passengers, so the doors have a really weird position, and you will hit the wheel well when getting in and out of the car. You don't have a lot of space. Navigating through busy cities is a trip, because you don't have a lot of visibility out the back. But even so, it is a car for people who want to stand out in the crowd. The X4 from the get-go, just like its bigger brother, the X6, has been set up to be bought by people wanting to make a statement. And yes, this car makes a statement. The rivals of this car are the Macan GTS and the Mercedes-Benz GLC 43 AMG, not the full-on AMG. And compared to its rivals, the X4 is lacking in interior design. Its interior design is old, and for a car with this kind of a price tag on, it doesn't really do it justice. But in terms of performance, it's above both the Mercedes-Benz and the Macan. The Macan is maybe superior in tight corners, but that's a bit of a subjective matter, because it depends on how you prefer to drive. I'm guessing some people will prefer the Porsche, but the BMW X4 M40i is right there next to it. I'm not going to bother telling you full fuel consumption figures, because as you can probably tell, this is a heavy car. It's a 3-liter turbocharged petrol engine. It's not very family friendly, but people who buy this car buy it for the way it drives. And in that regard, the X4 M40i is the one to get in this segment at the moment, as long as you can live with this interior. That said, this has been my review of the BMW X4 M40i. Looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.